Hi everyone, my name's Chris Lloyd, and I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about myself and what I do. Um, Basically, I have had some massive changes in my life, what I call like huge upgrades really, where things used to be pretty negative and in a sort of down way. I don't want to use too many strong words, but and a lot of things have really changed for me. Going back all the way to 15 years ago when I gave up smoking, actually, and that was kind of possibly the first part of my story of how my life turned around, because it was very strange for me in that I tried to give up smoking for many, many years. So I gave up 15 years ago, so I guess I was about 34 then. But I've been trying to give up for a long time. I didn't want to be a smoker, and I didn't like the things that came with that. And I tried so many different ways to give up. And then when I gave up smoking, it was really quite bizarre, because when I finally gave up for good and kind of knew that I would never smoke again, it wasn't like I had been led to believe. In that, I gave up on that day and knew I would never smoke again, and didn't have this fear of being around smokers, or every time I was in a room where someone was smoking, thinking that I was going to have the temptation all the time, and that it was basically going to still be hell. In fact, I was worried it was going to be even worse than being a smoker, and I think a lot of people have that. So that happened to me, but I didn't really know what had happened. And then since then, so I was like really intrigued by what had happened there, but kind of let it go. And since then, so we're talking 15 years ago, I've had several's not enough, lots of massive, like, sudden jumps in my life. Somebody called them last night. I was at a meeting with somebody else, and they called them upgrades in just upgrades in understanding or consciousness or something like that. And yeah, that's definitely how I see them now. Now, when I gave up smoking, I didn't see it like that at all. I didn't really understand what had happened. But like since then, I've given up gambling, given up drinking. I've got 4 businesses that are successful. I've lost loads of weight and now maintain my ideal BMI kind of thing. Like, I'm just in great condition. And I'm also really healthy. So like, I don't hardly eat anything that would be considered bad for you. And my relationships are great. I've got married, I've got kids, all things that have happened to me in the last. My daughter's just 12. So, I had my first child at 38. Now, years before that, although I always wanted children, I never thought I'd be in a situation where I would settle down and have children. So that was the sort of things that were going on for me back then. And now I don't have any of that. And I just, somebody said some words about me yesterday, which really quite hit home. They said that you always seem to be peaceful and have a quiet mind. And what I would say is I'm just like really available to life. I'm very present and open to what's going on. Hardly any like anxieties or anything like that, just completely gone. And I was a very anxious person when I was younger. In fact, that was why I was such a big drinker. I mean, I was basically an alcoholic, but that's kind of a term that has different meanings to different people. But I drank every day and to excess, and was frightened of not having drink as a crux. And now I've got nothing like that. Everything I do is pretty well enjoyable and what I want to do. So yeah, what what has gradually happened is that I've come to understand what happened to me all those years ago when I gave up smoking. And it is this jump in understanding. So what I do now is I try and help people who are trying to, like, I'm really targeting weight loss at the moment, and probably will do for the rest of my life. But I actually do think that in the end, I will be bringing this understanding of how you can upgrade your life to everyone in all areas. And maybe there'll be lots of umbrellas, and I'm kind of guessing that there's going to be lots of people who come to me as a mentor to help them in their businesses, of helping people understand this kind of way to upgrade your life. And I think what helps me so much is knowing that what has happened to me isn't from any manuals or instructions, so to speak, but that it's come from within, and that it was already there for me, which was not what I thought when I gave up smoking. So the smoking thing was kind of like a miracle to me, really, because I tried so many other things. But then when it happened, it really did confuse me how it happened like that and was such a quick change. And I kind of seem to have spent the next, say, 11, 12 years after that trying to find what it was that really happened. And I know now, and I know that that is available to everyone else. So what I do now is I spend time with people trying to help them have that understanding. And that just gives me so much pleasure to see people change their life. So what I do, like, I'm kind of niching with weight loss coaching at the moment, but that's because I believe that most people who are overweight, what they really need is not to learn a new diet, but to have these upgrades in their understanding and consciousness. And I'm just getting so much out of helping people like that. And I kind of believe that that's what drives me. That's the spark that was put inside me, was to go out and help as many people as possible. It's like, I see so much going on in the weight loss industry, that or the diet industry, that is driven by greed and money, and not driven by wanting to help people. But for me, really, there's a spark inside me that just wants to help people as much as I possibly can to have what I've had. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I do. Now, I've got a Facebook group that is free where I give tips and advice on weight loss. But to be honest, the main reason for joining that group would to be in the presence of someone like me who has had this upgrading in consciousness and understanding, so that you can gradually have that for yourself. And of course, I do one-to-one coaching and some group coaching, but it's mainly one-to-one. But I'm always answering questions in the group and other groups that I'm in. So if you're interested in joining that group, it's like www.facebook.com/groups/Chris Weight Loss. Yeah, Chris Weight Loss, all one word there. So it's facebook.com/groups/Chris Weight Loss, all one word. So yeah, join that group and, you know, subscribe to my channels and follow my personal profile. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping that just by being around me, that will help you. And of course, if you want to take further steps and join the group and consider one-to-one coaching, then I can definitely help you to have the understandings and the change of life that I had. Because you see, like I said, when I gave up smoking, I used to have this fear that I was going to spend the rest of my life in hell. And I think that's what people have with dieting, is that they think that, well, this is what it looks like to me. The diet industry now keeps you in a state of having to almost calorie count or be at Weight Watchers or be at Slimming World. And that's just not true, because that's not how I live. I don't live my life one day at a time, like they say when you give up drinking. Take it one day at a time, or when you give up drugs, take it one day at a time. That's not, there's another way to that, and it's so much easier. And I just want people to know that that is available to them, is that there is there's this ability to have an upgrade in consciousness and understanding so that actually you don't want to even smoke anymore. So there was a voice in my head before that said I needed a drink, and that voice is completely gone. I don't ever think about drinking now, and I don't have any worries about being in a situation where there's drink, like going to the pub or at parties. It's my 50th birthday in 2 days' time, and well, actually, will we be able to have a drink because of all the restrictions at the moment? But Christmas, it just doesn't worry me about not having a drink. I'll just be there having, the other funny thing is, having as much fun, if not more than before. In fact, I would almost certainly say more than before, and not drinking. And that's just applies to so many different areas of my life, like my work life, my relationships, eating, smoking, drinking, all completely changed. And I want people to know that that is available to you without this fear of missing out and the sort of this slight belief that that isn't possible. It really is possible. So yeah, as I say, come and join the Facebook group. It kind of says it's, well, it does say it's for mums and dads, but anyone's welcome in there. I pick mums and dads because I am a dad, and it is a group of people that I'm very comfortable being around. But you know, we've got people in there who count their cat as they're the parent of the cat, and even soft toys I think we've got. So yeah, basically my message is that there's hope and that things can be so much different, and it doesn't have to be like you're in this trap. If you've got this far, thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day, and yeah, let's connect, and I'd just love to be of service to you and to help you. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.